answer is correct. Because the multiple, are you starting to record yet?
Go for it. I'm gonna edit it, so.
Oh, good, okay. All right.
I don't have a green screen though, so I can't do anything wacky.
All right, well, welcome to the IDDSI presentation today. I appreciate you coming. And so, Brenda, I know that you are familiar with IDDSI, or at least
Yep.
you've heard the terminology before. How about you? Have you?
No,
Okay, what area do you?
I'm on 4B.
Oh, okay, all right. So you may
You
cross
still
over.
might
some
have modified diet.
Yeah. You're not too far out of the realm yet then. So this is the second year we will have included information on IDDSI because we had lots of nurses with questions and we're getting more familiar with it too. And it's good to have the actual IDDSI piece into place now so we can see how it actually works. But what IDDSI stands for is International Dysphagia Diet Standardization Initiative. So it's much easier to say IDDSI.
Yeah.
But it's global. They have more global definitions. It describes the textures and the liquids of foods, and is used for individuals who are in all care settings and in all age groups, and for all cultures even.
So we've got somebody coming from a skilled nursing facility to inpatient, and let's say they have a minced moist diet. It's going to be the same terminology there as it is with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And it's taken a while to get, change is challenging sometimes, but it's coming, I think, with more and more use, and as we talk about it more. So there are 7 levels to IDDSI, and we have the written materials, and hopefully the C-Box will have those as well, but these will describe what the different levels are, and we have that posted on the board too, but there is a 0 to 4 for the liquids or the beverages, and then from 3 on to 7 are the solids. We don't have a couple of the textures and liquids here just because, well, we don't have pediatrics in this facility, so we'll never see a level 1 here. I think it's more of an infant formula that's used for GERD. And then we don't use like the level 3, there's like a liquidized one that we don't use. But the common ones that we have, we've got both the crosswalk for the liquids and the solids. So on the left we've got thin, mildly thick, moderately thick, extremely thick. And that used to be yes, pudding. Yep, those make more sense in our minds, I think. Like you can about picture pudding thick liquid. Well, now it's extremely thick. And it's associated with L4, so L level, and then 4 extremely thick. And the color too, so if you think of green, that might be associated with the extremely thick liquids. You'll probably see more commonly mildly thick and moderately thick here in the hospital. And then the textures, they start out with, so level 4 is pureed, and then a little bit more texture from that is the L5 minced and moist. L6 is soft and bite-sized, and then L7 is the easy to chew. And then a little bit more on the liquids. We have pictures on the board of what it looks like on a spoon. So if you think of mildly thick, moderately thick, and extremely thick, and how it might or might not drip off the spoon. Here's some of the texture knowledge questions. First we go over the textures. Pureed is more smooth. It's blenderized or mashed to a pudding-like texture. There shouldn't be any chewing required. It should be free of lumps. And it's usually eaten with a spoon, and it usually falls off the spoon too. L5 minced and moist is foods have a soft texture, and all foods are minced to no larger than 4 millimeters, or about 1/8 of an inch. And they're moistened with sauces and gravies. They'll usually fit between the tines of a fork. L6, one step up from that. So this one is foods are soft, moistened with sauces and gravies. All pieces should be no larger than 1.5 centimeters, or a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch. Hard, stringy, chewy foods are avoided. And if you can think of your fork just a standard fork is a good measuring tool. So the width of that fork is about the size of the bite-sized, yep, or smaller would be appropriate. And then the easy to chew is L7. So again, no hard, sticky, crunchy foods. They say bones, of course, are avoided. You wouldn't want to be eating those. Those would be too hard. But avoid fruits with high water content, such as watermelon and texture. So here are some of the questions now. So the L4 puree diet. What are the key characteristics of food on the L4 diet? And there's more than one answer that's correct.
C, D, E.
This one actually, yeah, D and E, so, and also A. So no lumps are found in the food.
It's
That
a
one's
smooth
good.
texture.
Yep, smooth texture on that one. And D, it falls off a spoon when tilted. And then E, it's usually eaten with a spoon. So I prefer it much better when there's just one answer that's correct, the best one, but we have three there, yeah. And then the minced and moist. How do the pieces of food need to be on a level 5 minced and moist diet? And A is fit between the tines of a fork, B, the size of a fingernail, C, 1 inch, or D, no size restriction. A, yep, that's correct. Fit between the tines of a fork. So there's another measuring tool. So you think of L5 and L6 on your fork. That's kind of a good piece to remember. And then L6. What are the key characteristics of food on the L6 soft and bite-sized? They have foods can be cut with a fork. Chewing is required. Pieces no bigger than 1.5 by 1.5 centimeters. It needs to be needs a knife to be cut, and then E is thin liquids drip from food.
So,
No.
B,
E is one.
and C?
Yes, and there's also, this one's also multiple answers correct, but A, B, and C. So it can be cut with a fork on L6, chewing is required on L6, and pieces no bigger than 1.5 by 1.5 centimeters. So, and then numbers, L7, which of the following items are allowed on an easy to chew diet? We've got meatloaf, steak sandwich, steamed broccoli, and then carrots and celery sticks.
Meatloaf,
Yep,
steamed
steamed broccoli, yep, and everybody says that too with hesitation because we all know how broccoli can be cooked and
Hard.
can be kind of hard, yeah. If it's cooked nice and tender, and depends on how much of the stock is used too. So if it's cooked nice and soft, then you're okay to use it. And then, which of the following would be allowed on an L6 soft and bite size? Carrot sticks, whole hot dog, mac and cheese, or soft bagel?
C.
See, mac and cheese. And then which diet or diets could have soft bread? L7, L6, L5, L4.
L7.
L7, yep, the others don't. Now we've had, in the hospital, we don't send up bread on L6 and lower, but at home, one might be able to do, say, a slice of bread on an L6. Maybe they're able to cut the crust off and cut it into small pieces. If they can be, if they understand, if the patient and family and the person preparing the food can understand well what's happening, then they might be able to get it just the right size and be able to handle it. True or false, regular ice cream is allowed on L2 or mildly thick. False. Yep.
It's a
It's too
liquid.
thin.
It's a thin liquid.
It's a thin liquid, yep. So, and L2 is going to be a mildly thick, but ice cream is too thin. But we do have, do you remember what we have for an option that we could give them?
Do you guys have magic cups
We
there?
do, yes. Yes, magic cups are, they don't melt to a thin liquid. And then the next question, foods on an L5 minced and moist diet should not crumble off a tilted spoon.
True.
That's true. Yep. And then this one, last true and false question, nuts, popcorn, carrot sticks, and bacon are not allowed on any IDDSI dysphagia diet. True. True. That one's I like that one, it's an easy one, it's all tough. tough foods, they're not allowed. And then, what is required on the diet order? Is it, A is solid diet order only, B is liquid diet order only, C is both solids and liquids? It's both. Yep, we need to have both that solid and the liquid to get the correct diet order. And the speech therapist is the one that helps us determine which textures are appropriate, because they've been able to evaluate the safety of the swallow and where food goes or doesn't go. And so we take the cues from them, from our speech therapist, to know what to order. We have, if we need to have thickened liquids, we've got the thickener packets of Simply Thick in both the nectar is the pink, I'm sorry, mildly thick.
I was like, we,
Yep, I'm still transitioning too in my mind, but mildly thick and the moderately thick. If you need extremely thick, you can use 2 packets of the moderately thick to make it extremely thick. And you may have pumps. Down in the kitchen, we've got the pumps to distribute the amount of thickener needed, but the packets are pretty easy to use. 1 packet will thicken 4 ounces. So that makes it nice and easy. And we can send them in the mail easily. We send these to veterans. There needs to be an order for these, but again, a speech therapist would have to do an evaluation, but then we're able to order it for them for home, which is very handy. We have instructions for mixing, well, the instructions for mixing the liquids are right on the package, so that makes it quite easy to use. It can be mixed with a spoon. If you have things like soda that's fizzy and bubbly, you'd want to mix it in smaller doses at a time, and we do have instructions for that too.